We are.
Remember, Daniel finishes eating whatever he's eating.
Yeah. No, Daniel's just gonna go straight in, be like, "Hey guys, this is not the Planet Paintball Podcast, but yeah, we're just gonna get straight into it. So, what made you start?"
No lube on that shit. Huh?
He did it with Zach Patient Trevor Reeser. He was like, "All right, welcome to episode such and such. What was the first event like?"
I was just super excited to talk to him about the whole stadium thing, man. I wanted to hear a pro's perspective.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna say we're rolling right now, so we're leaving every bit of this in. But
hey, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm about to knock my fucking desk over. I got to cut my fan on because my fat ass is hot. What's up, Hunter?
Not much, man. Long time listener, first time caller.
Damn it! You beat me to it. I was gonna say that shit. Oh, he had to throw the Omar Josie up there.
I don't know why I'm so worried about the video with our 6 viewers that watch our YouTube, but here we are.
Dude, it'll build. It takes time. You know, it just
we were an audio only for the longest time, and then Daniel was like, "Just do YouTube," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to." Fine, I'll do it, and the payoff has not been so great right now, but whatever.
It is what it is.
Well, shit. Let's get an introduction going. Got my man Hunter Patterson here from the Planet Paintball Podcast. I don't have my air horn ready. Where are we at? I'm slacking. Oh, there we are.
awesome.
What's happening, man?
Oh, not much. You know, just chilling in for the night. Nice rainy day in the upstate here. And
yeah, where are you at exactly? Because I feel like we're not far.
No, we are not far, which I was super stoked when you guys started your show because I was like, oh, it's Carolina boys. So I'm in the upstate of South Carolina, Greenville, yep.
Oh, okay.
Our
sister lives in Anderson, so.
Okay, yeah, super close.
Skip and a hop over there. Next time I'm up, I'm going to make you buy me lunch.
Hey,
I'll buy you lunch. Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like this has been kind of a long time coming. It's just been kind of like back and forth exchanges on socials, but like, let's do a collab. And then for us, you know, the stars never really seem to align because we'll have shit drawn out, but like, all right, this is what we're doing for the next 15 episodes. And then all of those ideas fall apart, and then we're like, fuck, scramble.
Yeah.
So
no, definitely relate to that. And you know, I was hoping to see you guys at the Red vs. Blue, but that storm came through, and I saw your cancellation, and I was sitting there like, I'm going to drive still. And then I woke up that morning, and I was like, I'm not going out of this shit.
For people who don't know, we don't get snow in the South like that. So
no.
So we were like, oh, it's just going to be some flurries, no big deal. Well, the night before, we got like 2 inches of snow. And I'm like, damn right, now I see what my wife feels. No, I'm playing. But no, I was like, damn, this is a fuck ton of snow. And then, you know, it snowed all day Saturday. So, I mean, we got a shit ton of it compared to what we normally get. And for Daniel and I, it was like, it makes 0 sense for us to leave our wife and children 2 to 3 hours up the road to go play paintball. As much as I would love to go play in the snow, I've never done it, you know. Man, that would have been something to do and see in person, but I was bummed to miss it, but Lord have mercy, that would have been such a bad move on our parts.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily our driving that we were worried about. It was everybody else that can't fucking drive. I was like, I'm not risking it for the biscuit.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
All I could imagine was a fucking tree falling through my house and my wife and kids here by themselves, and I'm playing paintball in this guy. I'm like, no.
Then you're the real asshole.
Brother, man. I would be reporting from a fucking shipping container right now. She would have left my ass. Oh, goodness. So kind of tell us about yourself, like, you know, what got you into paintball, where'd you start, you know, what kind of led into content creation and shit like that.
Yeah. So started back in 1999.
Oh.
Maybe 98. I'm not quite sure.
How old are
the older
you,
you
first
get, the
off?
more shit that I'm 40. So birthday party, like everyone else, someone had, a party in the school group there. What was unique about it was a indoor facility, which was kind of rare for the Carolinas, at least at that time.
Yeah. Where was it?
Was it PBC forever ago when it had the indoor?
No. So it was Planet Paintball, which the show is named after.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right. Getting a little juice.
Yeah. So anytime you see like the old school logo, that's not round, that's like the original Planet Paintball logo from the field. And we could get into that a little bit later, but it was an old cattle auction house. So you can imagine the unique smell of mud and cattle shit and paintballs after it's marinated for a couple months.
Yummy.
So yeah, I can still, anytime I get around cows, I'm like, no, home.
That's the smell of money, man. Our dad works for a livestock broker, so it's just,
hey, there you go.
That's money.
So, got into it, fell in love with it. Internet was a thing, but not a thing.
Hell yeah.
So as a 7th, 8th grade kid, didn't have access by any means to the internet. And so just kind of played recreationally for a couple of years. Eventually found my way onto a local team, and then Carnage, and you go in sprints. I have found, like most people do, like 4 to 3 years, and then they'll take a break, and then they'll come back. But just kind of stayed at the local field. Never really wanted to do like the content thing until I was much older. I started working down closer to you guys. I was working in Sumter at one point.
I live in Sumter.
That's where we're at.
Yeah. So I was working at a nursing home down there.
Okay.
Running housekeeping for the facilities, and I had a house here in Greenville at the time, so I was traveling back and forth. So I'd stay down in Sumter for the weekends, really close to the base there.
Yeah. I literally live directly across from the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had X-ray vision through this wall right here, I could see the south side of the runway.
Nice. Yeah. So that's when I got into like podcasts and stuff, just because that was the first time I was driving consistently, like a decent distance. And podcasting was super new at the time, and kind of always thought about it, but my dad has a background in low power radio stations.
Okay.
So I grew up being on the mic a little bit and behind the scenes. I was a DJ like every other clown in college for a little bit. You're either a DJ or a real estate agent in your 40s. But that's kind of the background there. And then, found all the early podcasts. Maddie had the Paintball Access stuff. Then Carl picked up his, and just fell in love with the format. And kind of tossed it around with my brother about doing something with like paintball and booze. And he could never commit.
Yeah.
And at the time I was a teacher when I started this. So I had winters off, and every winter I pick like some weird hobby to like delve into. Mm-hmm. And I had finally said, I was out in my garage here, and oh my gosh, Dan Napoli and the guy who does the Art of Paintball podcast and all the cool paintings, his name's escaping me right now.
The only person I know that paints is Clint Riddle.
Yeah, Riddle.
Okay.
So Riddle had Dan Napoli on his show, which he still does every now and then. And I was just kind of doom scrolling while I was pretending to clean the garage. And I was like, who are these two gnarly dudes? And then I realized it was paintball and Dan and all that. And it was like, okay, well, if he's doing this, like, I need to look into it. Shelda launched the next day. I was like, this motherfucker. Yeah. I love his show. but that kind of lit the fire, and spent the 2 weeks figuring it out, and then had my nephew Colin, who just graduated high school. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Colin. Welcome to the real world, bro. It just started. Your life just started.
all downhill from there.
Yeah.
So he was willing to work with me while I figured out Riverside and stuff, and ordered mics, and he's episode 1, and it just kind of went off from there, and hit it 2 episodes a week for a long time.
That is
kind of slowed down recently.
Of content. 2 a week.
Yeah,
bitch, we do 2 a month. So
there was some logic behind it.
Yeah. Well, we started this thing off, and we were like an episode a week, content, blah 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 blah. Well, what we found in the beginning was we burnt through a lot of our ideas really quick because we weren't very like guest oriented or nothing yet. And by like week 3, we were like, what do we do now? is this the end of the show already? Like, damn. And I was like, what do you guys think about like every 2 weeks? Let's just kind of spread it out a little bit. Back then I had a lot of more time off in between because I worked rotating swing shifts. And, I could have an episode ready, 2 weeks in advance and not have to worry about it, whatever. And we did it every 2 weeks, and we started gaining a lot of traction. And then people were like, weekly episodes, like all 3 people that listened. And we tried it again, and we ran into the same problems. So we were like bi-weekly, TC's bisexual, bi-weekly. And it all works out.
Trisexual.
But he goes after the thems.
But we went back to what worked for us, and so we just been kind of sticking to that formula, and it's like the tortoise and the hare story. You're like, damn, I got 2 weeks. This shit, I'll have this in the bag. I'll have it ready, whatever. And then just like now, 2 weeks from the last episode, we're 2 days from release. So I got to record this, put it together tomorrow, schedule it, all this shit. But now that I work Monday through Friday, Fridays or Saturdays are about the only time, because I get up at like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I have done a podcast on a weeknight like that before, and woke up and hated my fucking self the next day.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hated myself. I almost just didn't go to bed. Just slam a damn monster back and
so. Call it for the next hour.
Dude,
and just rock it the morning.
Oh my god! And then crash at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, and anyone who talks to me about like wanting to start one of these, I'm like, start off slow.
Yeah.
Like don't do what I did, and I got addicted to it, like just going. So it's taken a conscious effort to slow down a little bit, mixed with a couple of you make plans way far out, like you were talking about early on, and then they all fucking crumble.
Yeah.
So a little bit of that and intentional slow down. I'm trying to get to like once a week, and occasionally if I can get like 2 people that I really like close together, I'll pump out 2 a week now.
Yeah. Dude,
So
sometimes
just because I don't like having content sit for like in my bag for over a week or 2.
we'll sit on like ideas, but a lot of times we don't have like finished shit ready to go. But like we'll have, just like you talking about, we'll have these ideas out and shit will fall apart. And every contingency we came up with, like all of these backup episode ideas, it's like we all get writer's block, and we're like, fuck, what are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna do? Like, and then Daniel's like, I just listed out like 20 episodes last week, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, let's go back, scroll back and go through these, So
yeah, that's usually my job.
Yeah, he's kind of like the enforcer in a way when it comes to like topics and shit like that. So 2 episodes a week. I mean, was this like topics and guests, or was it just like constantly
all guests?
Oh my god,
all guests.
People.
I don't think I could have done it if I did it like you guys, where you guys take a topic and tackle it.
Yeah.
That's just like so hard, and like you have to prep. And for interview, I do a little prep work, you know, or I try to at least. There's definitely been some times where I've gone in very fucking cold.
Bruh.
Just like, I know your name and that's it. And you know, I got a recommendation.
Just hit me with the oh man, I can relate. I'm these guys TC for sure, you know.
100%.
we've had some guests and he's just like, who the fuck is that? I'm like, yo, that was Oliver Lang. You know, like
I knew that. No, I looked at some of your videos earlier today, being totally transparent, going back and look at some of the, you know, the pictures and stuff, and the variety of folks you've had on from pro to semi-pro to, you know, people in the industry to the women's league. It's just, there's a huge variety of folks in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. And that was kind of the idea, right? When I'm
gonna wear this board out tonight.
That's awesome.
He's proud of me for doing research. That's what it is.
Yes, well, I'm proud of you for doing your due diligence, and then just it's kudos to my man over here for just kind of involving everybody. You know, we don't get as much of diversity of guests as he does, so it's kind of like a platform. In my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong, Hunter. But just kind of like a platform where everybody that is involved in industry has a voice and can tell their story.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the original idea was like for Carolina / Southeast guys, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you know, like I said, as a kid coming up, early 2000s, essentially, right, starting in '99, like Dark Carnival, Gridlock, those camps. I know you guys hate them. Manus Factory, FXF.
I don't hate them. They always put me in the fucking dirt, man. When I would play with Fracture and go practice with them or whatever, they would always stomp my ass.
But like we don't have a ton of video from that. Like even back, if you go to like 03, like Dirter videos, like it's hard to find some of that shit that was the local videos. And we had especially FXS, Ken Barrett, who went on to play with Trauma, with a couple other Trauma guys on there, playing against Mantis Factory. Like that rivalry was so huge in the Southeast at the time, and like Mantis changed their name for one event, which wasn't heard of back then, to fuck FSU, or XSF. And I want to go out and try and find those stories and capture the stories that are happening now too. So not just be a history thing. I love getting the old guy on every now and then and talking the history, but also capturing what's going on. And it just kind of spiraled, man. Like it went from the local guys to, someone knows someone, and I have X on and they recommend 1, 2, and 3. And as long as they're down, like I'm down to record the episode. So.
Yeah. I think I have to be super biased here. My favorite one is the fucking Lennon family, because that's our boys.
Yeah.
Love.
My favorite so far is Sauceman. That's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, Sauceman was good.
Yeah.
And just like Nick Sloviak gets a lot for being like a treasure of paintball, but like Sauceman is right up there in my book with him. Like that dude just loves the sport. He's a Carolina guy, like, and he loves supporting the Carolina crews.
Straight fucking bully on the field, man. God.
Oh yeah.
So being from the Carolinas back then, I mean, there's got to be no question you were involved in CFOAs, correct? So
yeah. So
did you ever play any SCPFOAs?
I played a couple. I couldn't tell you when I played them because they were always like add-ons, right? Played 03 was kind of like when I really started competing. I think it was 03, might have been 02. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. The Matrix had just come out, the LCD Matrix, the first year I started to compete.
Damn, you're old.
Yeah, fucking old.
So
and I'll be 40 in 2 months. So
there you go. We're the same age.
I'm the youngest one here, but I look the oldest. I mean,
I was about to say you got gray hair, bro.
Life is tough. It's hard on a pimp. You make the most money you've ever made in your entire life, and you still can't afford to live.
That is the damn truth.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, reason I ask because small world. I played a handful of SCPFOAs. Daniel played a fuck ton of them. TC played none, and but I was just I was like, damn, maybe we cross paths at some point.
We probably did.
Yeah. I know you and Daniel probably have because he's been way more involved in tournaments than I have. I probably have less than 10 events under my belt altogether.
I know we played the CFOA Tin Man together. Not together, but you were there. I was there.
Yeah.
I hadn't started the podcast yet.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Hot take. I did not have as much fun on that Tin Man as I do playing like 5-man rec ball on airball.
Oh. I love Tin Man. I'll respect your choice, but man, you give me a mechanical gun and some mounds.
I mean, you could have an opinion that's wrong. I mean,
that's good. You can acknowledge that about yourself.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. I had fun. We had a couple of key people that I was really looking forward to being around the weekend. Had some shit come up, and we had some fill-ins that just didn't gel like they should have, I think. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Daniel knows exactly who and what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think that had a lot to do with it. Because you watch Matt the Gym Rat's videos of all his 10-man stuff. He's playing with his brother, his friends, a real close group of people, and they're out there having a blast. I played. There was 3 guys on my team. I had no fucking idea what their name was. To this, couldn't tell you. This day, I couldn't tell you. This day.
Yeah, that's always rough.
Yeah, so I mean, I had fun. Don't get me wrong, I had fun. I was kind of in the middle, middle of finding out I had degenerative disc. So there was the first point we played in the mounds. I'm trying to run low, and I'm like crouch running, at like 0.00006 miles an hour, and so I'm like leaned forward like Naruto, however you say it, running like a fucking idiot, and my back just like locks up, and my legs just lock up, and I just like right on my fucking stomach. And I can't move, so I like roll over on my back and crush all the pods and all the pain in my pods. And I'm like, everybody's looking at me laughing, and I'm like, I am in so much goddamn pain right now, y'all. I'm glad y'all think this is funny, but when I think of that event, I think of all that damn pain I played through, and I was like, dude, it sucks. It sucks so bad. But I feel
just tried in Florida.
Dude, no, I'm just gonna be that guy that carries 2 cases on his back and just fucking chicken wings.
Every Tin Man needs that.
That's what I'm doing from now on, dude. I'm getting old. I will say, I'm feeling a lot better these days with chiropractic care. I'm doing crack and meth, just trying to for legal reasons. Legal reasons, that's a joke. Legal reasons, that's a for fucking.
You're about to lose your fucking CDL.
Oh, look, Daniel's about to spit his drink out. That was perfect. Perfectly timed silence, guys. We did not rehearse that.
No.
Oh, fucking Christ, man.
Did not rehearse that. Oh, my God.
All right.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I digress. I'm going to back up here.
All right. Hunter, I got a question, man. So, you remember, I think it was like the second or third year that CFOA had its own standalone X-Ball League. Do you remember the thrown together team called Underground Heroes that debuted for like one fucking season?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, to be fair, if you were playing on them, I wasn't even getting to play that league at that point, so you were doing better than me.
Yeah, that was the leftover fracture dudes that were still playing, and then some cats from like around Greensboro, North Carolina. Let's see. B-Pate was on there. This dude Pat, I cannot remember these motherfuckers' names. It's been so long, man. But they were like, I remember Quaz was on there too for a little bit. I think not Quaz. No, Quaz only played NC Hammer. I don't think Quaz ever played with us on Underground Heroes. But regardless, yeah, that was a shit show.
Underground Heroes was dope.
It was dope. It was dope for about 2 events.
Yeah.
When we were actually able to take the helm and practice how we wanted to, play the tournaments how we wanted to, but the people that did the Lawrence Hope tournament, I think it was like, what was her name, like Kat Smith or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Her husband could not stand Price on our team. He could not, like, they were bumping heads because Price would say some fucked up military humorous shit, and then he'd take it to the heart, and it was just bad.
Brother, Price has no filter.
No, he doesn't.
Does not.
He
Do
damn
you,
sure
do you
doesn't.
know Price, Hunter?
I
Price Dallas?
Steven Price?
Like Steven, we've talked a little bit, but like I don't know him. Right?
Yeah,
like,
so
you should get him on to talk about the Fracture days, about the
Yeah.
CFOA back in the day and everything.
yeah, I'll put him
Yeah.
on the list.
Dude,
So
that
we had been talking about something, but like it kind of drizzled out, but it wasn't about
Yeah.
him. He was trying to get someone on the show for me.
Yeah, I got
So,
you. So we kind of cut our teeth under his thumbnail and the rest of Fracture and all that back then, and we hated that motherfucker so bad because he was an Air Force guy, didn't give a shit, just would say anything and everything, and we couldn't check our own egos and kind of read the room, and we didn't know it, but in a way, he was kind of trying to better us, but
In his own methods,
in his own methods, but it seemed like excessive bullying to us back when we were younger. And
Well, I was used to the jokes and everything. It was when we got called poor, that's what I took to heart, because
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's why I got offensive about a lot of the shit that he would say, because that was taking a stab at my dad. Because for the longest time, our mom and dad, like, we were a single family house income or single income family household, whatever the fuck the saying is.
God damn, you fucked that up. Single income
Bro,
household.
that shit.
Holy shit.
He couldn't even go to school.
Nope. As you can tell. But that was the only time I ever like really took offense to anything he really said. And because every time that like anybody that had one of those Fracture jerseys on would tell me, hey, you should have been doing this, you should have been doing that. Whether they yelled at me, whether they were calling me a fucking idiot, and yada, yada, like that stuff didn't bother me. I was like, okay, well, obviously they know better. They're winning fucking CFOAs and shit, and I'm still, taking scraps. But it was the calling us poor, and then me be like, dude, you're taking a stab at my dad right now. Like, that's what I don't appreciate.
Yeah, he would call us gun bums because, like, Daniel, we didn't have the highest end gear and shit, and like my poor little bullshit would break, my little ion would stop, or that autococker I had just wouldn't do it, and I'd be like, hey, can I know you got a DM4 in that bag, like, can I rip that shit? Like, I just wanted to play. I wanted to play, and I didn't want to rent a fucking Titman to do it, but
they never broke.
I mean, that's you can say that about them. I don't know what else you can.
Fuck a Titman. But I might strike a nerve with old Mr. Spray Paint Red Titman up here. But
Hell yeah.
But he would kind of dig in like that, like gun bum this, or me and Daniel would be splitting a case of paint, and however he thought it was justified as whatever, but at the time we really took it personally, and but with all that being said, it's not like we sit here and just fucking hate each other. I love that dude. He actually donated a significant amount of money to us after we ran into him at
the first Red versus Blue.
First Red versus Blue. Yeah, he
that we played.
He donated some money, and we ended up buying a Proflex and a hopper and something else we paid for, and we just ran a random giveaway through that. But and every time we see him, it's like like we've been hanging out for the last 20 years together and just catch up and whatever. Just banter back and forth between each other. Like, he's a huge Michigan fan. So anytime you see him at an event, he's got a big Michigan beanie on. And I'm like, yo, Michigan sucks. And he's like, yo, who was that? But I think, if you want to kind of rehash the glory days, especially you coming up through the same time frame, I guarantee you guys would have a lot of like intertwined stories and shit.
Big time.
Yeah. 03 to 04, 05 was like the first real stint in tournaments. So that shit was just wild back then because you're 15 and you're piling 6 dudes into a car to go to an event, and like we weren't doing great, we weren't doing shit either, but like it's just wild back then. One of my guests said like it was a traveling circus.
Yeah,
right. You'd all convey at some shit town in the southeast for a CFOA, and there were like 8 or 9 events back then.
Yeah,
like it was a wild amount.
Yeah, you almost had one a month.
Yeah. You took like 1 month off for summer.
Yeah.
And then you were back at it. It was just that shit was fun, and Hellfire in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Box, like they just don't make it like they used to.
No. 15 balls a second.
Yeah, well, uncapped back then.
Yeah.
So I came back into 15 balls, and I was like, "What happened to 30?" Every half the dudes had cheater boards that no one was like telling you about. It was just fun.
It's literally the Wild West.
Wild West. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I mean,
less bunkers too.
Yeah, way less bunkers.
Faster rate of fire, way less bunkers.
We question that all the time. Like paintball was, in my opinion, way less athletic back then than it is now, and the guns shot faster. The bunkers were less. How in the fuck were these guys running and gunning, making a corner? Like, was everybody just that shit at shooting off the break? Or what was?
Well, I think in part, yes.
It was new. Everybody was new to it.
But also, like before X-Ball, the CFOA fields weren't standardized, right?
Yeah.
So you go down, and you'd have to walk like 6 fucking fields.
Yeah.
And they all have different bunkers, different layouts. But I felt like back in the day they were skinnier and a little bit longer than like your traditional X-ball field, which allows you to get out to the corner quicker, right?
Yeah.
So
Lord knows I needed it.
Why I could use it now?
Why the fuck? Even back then, anybody looked at me and were like, "Hey, run the corner," and I'm like, "Me? I think I should stay right here."
It's always the small guy on the team too that wants to play home for some reason.
Bro, I'm 6 foot. Back then, I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I'm like, just let me fucking lob over this lay down can, which is what we don't do anymore. When's the last time you've seen a lay down can on anything?
Or rolly?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
fucking ever, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's been probably over a decade since I've seen a rolly.
Yeah, dude. Me and PJ, we locked up a it was the Dirty South Open in 2007 in McDonough, Georgia. Yeah, that's when they had like one of the last layouts with rollies, but me and PJ pulled out of a fucking 2-on-4 with that shit.
Yeah.
Because they were like straight across from each other. We had it crossed up and
nice.
Yeah.
That's something that I will forever ever brag about with him, because
I have a picture somewhere of me just locked in on this fucking just cross, and the dude pops the top, and I just blow his shit smooth off. I mean, just every one of them connects, just crack, and I literally go, "My bad," and the whole fucking sidelines erupts in laughter because I didn't they weren't really penalty friendly.
He wasn't a violent person back then.
I didn't want nobody to be mad at me because it wasn't intentional. I didn't have no beef with these guys. I had no idea who the fuck they were. I blew his shit clean to fucking pieces, and he walked off, and he was all fucking covered in orange and shit. And we won that match. And when we got off, we were kind of like, outside of the net passing each other. And I seen him, dude. He was still covered in shit, had his mask up on his head. And I was like, dude, my bad. I did not mean to do that. He gave me a big hug. He was like, "You're good, brother. Congratulations." And I'm like, man, thank you so much for not being a fucking dick. You know, I was like 15 or 16, but I wanted him to know it wasn't intentional. Now these days, fuck you, dude. Get off the field. If I can even shoot anybody anymore, I probably can't.
Dude, that's what it's all about, though. Like putting it all out on the field and then just giving each other like a hug after the fact. Yep. Like, you know, you do whatever you want to me on that field, as long as like if you want to chirp at me off the field, we'll have a problem. But...
Yeah. Once you know me, and like Daniel said, I'm not a very violent person, and even in my older ornery age, I'm still not. But the most hyped up I got was when Daniel, you had that Mexican standoff with that dude at Hoppers one of the last times we played. I was literally dead across field. Like I was dead, but I was just leaning on the net, watching the point unfold. And Daniel, this dude just melts our homeboy Dylan and like spins all over him and shit. And Daniel goes and just dunks this bitch, and they're just having a Mexican standoff, just and the dude beside me is like, "Yo, hold up," and he like puts his gun up, and I like put my gun up at his head. I'm like, "Nah, motherfucker, you send one motherfucking ball across that field, I'm gonna kill your bitch ass." And he looked at me, and I was like, like I'm about to kill this bitch. I'm about to kill this motherfucker. But I had no idea who he was. But he had
that was an interesting day.
He had his gun pointed at my brother, and I was not about to have that shit. I hit that bitch with my Tipman. Bink.
That's what I'm good for.
Oh my god! But no, all that being said is, the moment I break the net into the pits, I don't give a fuck. We can be best friends. I'm gonna go buy you something at dinner. I'll buy you an appetizer or something. But unless there's probably one or two people I could give a fuck less about in paintball, like locally, and like I can walk right past them and they can go fuck their mom for all I care. On and off the net, I don't care. But most of the time, like you said, just leave it on the field.
There's quite a few people that I have a vendetta with that I played against in the NXL, especially like the Palpaloto people.
Yeah.
They were a fucking thorn on our side. They cheated like a motherfucker. I'll go ahead and say it on the air. They cheated. They would have people fucking bird dogging us like a motherfucker when we were playing D3 5-man. Mm-hmm. And then some of their buddies were referees, gave us some fucking bad calls. I'm 100% positive. And then fucking like Atlantic City, the first Atlantic City that I ever played over there, they had people bird dogging. Then they had people on their fucking their buddies were referees and shit, gave us bad calls to push the fucking match to where they would get first. And it was just like everybody else I'm usually cool with, man. But like if you have one of those fucking jerseys on, I don't give two fucks about you. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
can be a violent person. I usually am a violent person, but I don't prefer it, if that makes any sense.
Daniel holds a grudge way more than me. Way more.
So you bringing up bird dogging reminds me, and Daniel, you played during this time too, and it was legal back then because sideline coaching was legal, but playing against fucking CEP back in the day sucked. Bro, because they just had like the sideline lined with their motherfuckers.
Yep. Did you see the one where they had I think it was like 6 or 7 people with the arrows, where they were just walk down? Yeah, PJ, they had like 6 or 7 people holding up fucking CEP branded fucking arrows and just walking down, following them the entire time.
Bruh.
And like 8 or 9 people counter, like, dude, it was like PB Fit, but back in the day. They had so much counter coaching and everything. Oh my God, he's got a fucking opinion.
Time out. So Blue just posted a reel like yesterday or today from the last event where they were doing sideline coaching at like the All-Star game or whatever.
Yep.
And he said, should sideline coaching make a comeback?
Fuck I can do without it. I can do without it, especially like in the divisional shit. Now, if you want to back us up, like Marcelo's been saying the last like 3 years or whatever, back us up and let us like yell more. I'm all for that for the pros, but like, yeah, keep the sideline coaching out of the divisionals. Like some of these teams are good teams, and they just they're skeleton crews, right? Yeah. And go shop Pro DNA and use Center 50 whatever code. 10% off, baby. There we go. But like you get a good team that's a skeleton crew versus like a CEP that has 20 fucking parents there, like, and you're allowing sideline coaching like that.
No,
it's just not fair.
Absolutely. No. I will say this. I had a lot of fun at the last 2 World Cups with Commander's Cup and coaching and yelling and the shit show that is, because it's just, you know, Daniel's yelling obscenities at people that he knows personally, and it's hilarious to me. And I'm telling the Air Force to use their UAV on their kill streaks and shit. But as far as like just count out Commander's Cup, you know, that's kind of like an anomaly. Any kind of pro, NXL pro, all the way down to like D12, however far down it goes now. Absolutely no fucking sideline coaching. I hated it back then. I hate it now. I'll hate it after I die. I mean, I'm going to be burning in hell going, God, I hope they don't put sideline coaching back in. So, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I agree with you. Ultimately, like, it's really fun for something like Commander's Cup or a one-off event, you know, but like if that's the whole season, that's going to suck.
I wouldn't have even done it for that All-Star game. I think that really took away from I think that really took what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I don't want to say the honor. The honor is not the word I'm looking for.
The flair.
Kind of. But, like, let the all-stars be all-stars. I don't need 30 people on the sidelines coaching and counter-coaching. And I understand those guys probably had a lot of fun with that. And, you know, just like everybody that has played Commander's Cup with sideline coaching says, it doesn't do anything because it's so fucking loud. Like, you can't you have to look for people, like, pointing. But then you got people like me pointing, like, he's in front of you, and then they go to stick him, and there's nobody there, and I'm like, I got you, bitch, you know. Fuck the Marines. No, I'm playing, but
so back in the day, I guess it was when MOA was still at Rock Hill. I had taken my little brother to go and watch a day of pro.
Yeah.
That's when you could just walk in and they didn't charge you.
Yeah, the good old days.
I'm saying. And we were counter coaching excessive, and Thomas Taylor told us to shut the fuck up. So now we hate Thomas fucking Taylor.
Not the Christ Crew guy.
Yeah, you know, Mr. I don't know.
Mr. Born Again. Listen, we don't care if we get canceled, okay? Mr. Born Again Christian here. Go fuck yourself. No, let me stop. Oh, man. Yeah, I like.
He definitely had a giant cross tattooed at the time. That's
we're you know, that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, which I guess, you know, people play with a little bit of heart, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
hypocrite.
Good and bad.
Yeah, not a fan. That's all. That's what my timeout was for. I'm sitting here. I forgot to send these off with my damn Timmy. Oh yeah.
I was wondering what you had in your hand for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah. Sidebar. I sent my Intimidator off today to Cocker Top.
Oh yeah.
That bitch said it's like a 10-week lead time, and I was like, you know what? It ain't like I'm gonna need that bitch in 10 weeks. So see ya. Yeah. He's the best though. Oh my god, that dude is so good.
Yeah, he's really good at everything.
He probably could have sent it to Can, man.
I wanted it to go to fucking Cocker Top. God damn it.
Just because I got cock in the name, huh?
That's right. It's my favorite.
I thought
he did my carnivore. He did an amazing job on my car. He did it right before I bought it.
How you liking that thing? That's like one of the ones I've never gotten to shoot.
I've only ripped it twice. I ripped it twice.
I've had one since 2019. I haven't been able to shoot it yet.
Oh.
You need to send it to him to get it butter modded, dude.
Dude, it's so sad. I look like I'm not gonna go get it, but like it's down this little fucking
I'm gonna go get
aisle.
mine. Fuck you. He don't stop
But like dude, holy shit, man. I got 08 Ken Griffey Jr. Ego that needs to get rebuilt that I want to shoot, and then the Carney. Those are the only 2 guns in my like actual collection that don't shoot. Everything else still works.
Nice.
Yeah. Got the ODM
And the black and gold.
ODM panels, sci-fi board. I mean, the only thing I don't like about this gun is it doesn't have the yellow ASA. But I mean, it's probably.
It looks clean though.
I'd say it's probably a good 8.5 out of 10 condition, and it's serial number 655, so it's an early, kind of early.
Yeah,
but it's.
Early one.
I mean, it's nice. I bought this barrel. I bought the gun. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but it wasn't through Cocker Top. But I did buy the barrel from him because it came with a boomstick.
Oh, mine's way off.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have it.
4474.
Oh yeah, Hunter. If we wind up at fucking a CFOA or Red versus Blue or something like that together, let me know in advance if we're going, and I'll bring this bitch and you can rip it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. I mean, it's solid as a rock. It's sealed up tight. I mean, I think it's at 15 a second, something like that. Let's see.
Nice.
You probably can't hear. You probably can't hear it on the.
No.
Nah, it's canceling it out.
Yay.
Good. I hope you fry your solenoid.
I hope you fry your fucking mom.
That's your mom, you dumbass.
To be determined. I was always told I was the mailman's kid.
It's still your mom.
Dumbass.
No, the mailman identified as a woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh
shit. Anyway, so since you've played back in the day, around the same time that I did, what do you think killed paintball in the Carolinas? Because
good question.
It used to be booming, man. You know what I mean? Like, so CFA was considered the biggest 5-man tournament in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Second largest outside of like just 5-man. Like it was second largest. Only the PSP or MPPL at the time too. Honestly, I think it comes down to 08 and 08 happened and I think everyone was fine for a little bit. And then, 09 is really when we saw numbers drop. So I think it's all about the crash. Like people tried to keep the hobby going and then like wallets just got tight. And if you think back in that day, like there were a shit ton of kids in the league. Like there were whole teams that were kids, which, early 2000s, you were starting to see kids. Like a couple would pop up on teams, but there were still like a bunch of young adults, 20 to 25 dudes that had, and like 35-year-olds who got divorced, which, they're always fun to have around. They're good for beer. But I think ultimately that's what it is. And like, it just, Carolinas, not to talk bad about us, but we're a cheaper state to live in, which means we make less money on average. And I think, by the time you've gone out of the recession, like those kids have moved on. I think we've seen a bunch of them come back recently. Yeah, right. Like, so I think that's really what kind of killed it. Now, why has it not popped back up? I don't know. I think the Carolinas have a ton of talent in it. And it's been hard to find a organization to like harness that.
Yeah.
You look down at Georgia, man, Jasper with the Jungle Cats and the NGXL. Like when you have a high level team, it creates more hype and people want to stick around because they see a path, right?
Yep.
And we, right before the crash, we lost Trauma the year or two before that. So I think that had a big part of it too. Like the path is gone, money's tight. Yeah, I'll find a different hobby.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you think that the Trauma's fallout had anything to do with it? Because they were huge, and I mean huge influences in Carolina ball back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you shot a Matrix. Like,
Yep.
Jesus. You know?
Or wore a profiler or got the fucking Draxus jersey, you know?
Yeah. Their influence on Carolina ball is still around.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, like Raiden tried to step up in a couple other collisions, but like they weren't able to like go pro.
Right.
So I think you need a pro team in a region to make it a strong region.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, otherwise you're. And now it might be different if you have like a decent semi-pro team in the region. You could probably have a strong region, and we could talk about like how if the pro is watered down or not. I think it's probably stronger than it's been in the last decade as far as the league.
The current pro league.
Yeah.
I really agree. Because it's just look at these teams. You know, just look at the 20 teams that you have. We say it all the time on this show. At any given event, if one of these teams have just put in that 1% more than the next, they can win. Except let's say 19 teams, because NYX is fucking trash. But
yep.
but just any of these teams can win. I mean, it's not like you have the top 3 to 5 teams just beating up on the rest of the league every event. You know, it's just you got a top organization that placed 19th last event.
Yeah.
You know, fucking Houston Heat. So I mean, I think it's the most competitive that it's ever been. It's not like semi-pro 2 years ago where it was just fit and blast camp, just bam, bam. That shit's kind of boring to me. Like, it tells a story. It's a great story. You know, PB Fit went on a tremendous
But
run.
you know how it's going to end, though.
Right.
Yeah.
PB Fit went on a tremendous run. They won every event. Blast Camp was right there beside them, which is when Blast Camp went pro, I was like, oh, Bot Camp. Oh, you know, I was edgy and cool. But then, like, our buddy Mark Paris was like, yeah, I mean, but they were second place every event. So, I mean, they almost deserve to be there just as much as Fit does. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate that you're
recently.
Right. Yeah.
Until recently, you could argue that the top 4 semi-pros were way better than the bottom pros.
Yeah.
So I think it's well deserved. I think Blast Camp's probably they're in good position, right? It's there to lose right now.
Yeah.
Being a third through the season, but you know, I love watching the semi-pro stuff just because like those storylines are really cool to me, almost more fun than the pros at this point.
Yeah. Dude, I'm such a casual fan. I focus on the pro league, on what's going on and everything. And the semi-pro is just kind of what I catch scrolling through Instagram and stuff like that, or maybe like the webcast in between like pro matches or something. And hey, Everly.
She can't hear you. I'm about to go put her ass back to bed.
Put her in a fucking chokehold. Oh, big head. That's my little homie right there. But
let me go tuck her in real quick.
Yeah, go do that. But you know, it's just kind of never been my thing. Like, let me set that bad boy down. I'm starting to get more into it now, just like what you said, like the storylines, and you know, pro teams have a story to tell. They're fighting to be the best of the best in our sport. But you know, these guys on semi-pro are coming up and they're fighting for a spot to get to that battle. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's starting to become a little more appealing to me now. Not because it's more relatable, because I'm not chasing a paintball career.
Yeah, you know those days are long gone for me too, man.
I'd love to play rec more often, but it's just I find myself catching more interest in that realm these days, if that makes more sense.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting because you got new characters every year, right? Yeah. And a lot of it's shrouded in mystery. You don't know what the teams are doing in the off season. It's pretty rare that you hear about a move unless it's a Tommy Greenleaf, leaving malicious for PMOB or something like that. I think the sign of a healthy league would be a different top 4 every event. Yeah. When we're talking about pros, right? And we just aren't there yet. I found myself rooting for Uprising for the first time in 10 years because okay, they're in striking distance for the first time when we're talking about pro teams. And that would be a cool story for Uprising to make it. Obviously want Shock to do well, even though they're doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
Showing their ass on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, showing their ass on the Jumbotron. But, Shock's a mix of, I'm an old school kid. Shock and Ironman were the shit back in the day when I started. And having, Jarrett Lackey, who won't get back to me about coming on the show.
That motherfucker.
We're applying pressure to him hard.
I'm about to DM him right now. Listen here, you son of a bitch.
I got a lot of back channels hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do this. I figure I'll pester him to death.
Isn't that the worst?
It's interesting, right? And I know you guys have had it too.
Bruh.
People just don't show.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't mind if you cancel on me as long as I got a decent notice, at least a day.
Yeah.
But if you show me, come on.
That's happened to us twice. Got ghosted 2 or 3 times.
Several times been ghosted.
and then just recently left on red when we were supposed to bring an old guest back on that already agreed to come on the show, and then after we went to go double check, hey, are we still good to go? Scene.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that because I messaged this person and I was like, hey, love to have you back on. Want to talk to you about some things, and he was like, yeah, let's set it up. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll touch base with you later on this week, and message him. Didn't really hear nothing. Message him again and about a certain day, and he was like, yeah, can we do Monday instead? And I'm thinking to myself, well, fuck, that's a work night. I'm going to be up late. I get up, like I told you earlier, it's so early in the morning. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking be a big boy, put my big boy pants on, and we're going to do this shit. And then that day, I'm like, hey, just want to check and make sure we're still good for tonight. The boys are on, everything. We're good to go. Scene. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you exactly how many days ago it's still been on scene.
Yeah, that shit. How many times? I know. Oh, sorry, TC. What'd you say?
I said it was 2-3 weeks ago. Is when we did the MAO Open.
It says scene last week.
Damn.
May 11th. Hey man, sorry to be a bother. Just wanted to reach out and see if you were still good for tonight. I guess we're not good.
Nothing. Yeah.
It is what it is.
I don't know that it's malicious versus Daniel. Just hold that thought. I'm almost done. I don't know that it's malicious because this person may listen to this. I'll tell you who it is afterwards if you remind me. But maybe they're just caught up in some real life shit. I don't know. But I mean, I don't feel like I'm entitled to somebody's time. I'll ask you. I would love for you to come on. If you can't, that's great. I would rather you just tell me you can't than leave me on scene. We've had one pro I've reached out to twice after they moved 2 different times. I'm like, hey, would love to talk to you about this. Scene. Not even just hey, man, that's not my thing, or I'd rather not, whatever. Maybe they think it's less of a sting to me. I'm not sure, but it's as entitled as I sound about this, it is kind of irritating. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm not asking for the world here. Just a fucking 8 ball of Coke and 10 million.
Well, it's a lack of common courtesy that's the aggravating part.
Yeah. And I'll this guy's episode's going out next week, so I'll recant this now. Cody, he does the SMEC. I think I pronounced his name right. Former Dynasty player. Does the voice for the NGXL, like me and him just kept missing each other.
Yeah.
But you know, it'd be like, hey, are you ready? And then like didn't hear anything from him, and then I wasn't ready because like something came up. But you know, overall, he would always get in touch with me like after the fact, like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, like something came up." You know, like
that means the world to me.
Yeah, like that. You know, if something happens, and you know, I don't know what's going on in your life, you don't know what's going on in my life. I get it. But if you could just touch base, like, especially if you ghost me, like, hey, man, I'm sorry, I forgot, or whatever. You can lie to me. Just make me feel good about it, baby. You know?
Yeah, no, we get that 100%, man. I think for me, I think PJ and TC kind of feel the same. The biggest pet peeve that we've had so far since starting this podcast is people practically begging to come on the show.
Yeah.
And then constantly, hey, Lan, let me come on there and talk. Let me come up there and talk. Let me come on the show. I'm like, bro, I was like, I already told you beforehand, once we have an opening, we'll get you on. You know what I mean? But like constantly harping about it, that's just gonna make me not want to do it. Like, I don't give a shit if you're a bro or anything like that. That's just how I am personally. You know what I mean? And we've had that with several people, and it's just like we have guests that we will never bring back on here ever. It's just like at this point, it's never like, I don't want to say it's personal, but like it kind of is, because like we take the time to do this, right? It's always at night. It's always because we could, instead of doing this podcast on our free time at night, we could be doing something else with the kids or something else. Like, because if we ain't playing, 9 times out of 10, like us 3 are playing like video games together or something. It's been that way for Jesus Christ,
the last 4 years since we've been doing this. For sure.
Well, not only that, but like me and TC, like ever since I went in the military in 2013, me and TC's been playing like video games like almost every night with each other. You know what I mean? And then PJ just, what's up?
So years before that too.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. But like, there's other stuff that we could be doing with our free time. So if you basically blow us off, or you know, just come at us in like a negative way, I'm not going to use my free time to even, you know, humor that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it comes off like PJ said, like entitled and stuff. Like, we don't think we're like Joe Rogan, play the game, you know, and like, we don't think we're anybody special by no means. We have somewhat of a filter, but like the way that we were brought up is to like, if you do us wrong, like usually like one time, that's it. You know what I mean? That's just the way that me and PJ were raised.
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, like we're not no big ass production company. You know, I'm not paying anybody to come on the show. We spend money to make this show. We make zero, zilch, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm the same way. You know, like I pay for the software. It's also my time. Like, I got a real job. I don't work in the industry. You know, if GI or someone wants to pay me, we can work it out.
Put this man up today.
You know, I have been really blessed with like the Filthy Guys gave me a jersey. Zach from Smart Parts like took care of a gun that I had bought and like fixed it up really nice. And the Jester guys, who I am an absolute fan of now. It's just a great organization, great guys. Sent me the jersey behind me, but and those are cool things. But like, I don't make money. You know, I actively spend money like you guys, and it's not that it's a ton of money, but you know,
it adds up.
Something it adds up, and like you know, I just invested in a brand new rig to do this. Like, I had been doing it off a shitty ass laptop. That was like $300, and I just bought brand new webcam, brand new tower, to, you know, for the show. I didn't need it personally, you know.
Same. I'm getting ready. I've been saying it since Christmas, but I'm actually getting like a roll-off dumpster brought to my house in the next 2 weeks, and I'm really doing it to purge my garage because I'm trying to get my project truck in there. But this fucking room right here, there's just shit everywhere. Most of it's baby clothes that my 1-year-old has grown out of. And we're gonna donate and give away all that shit. Like, we're not throwing the baby clothes away. But there's just so much shit in here I'm looking at right now that could just be tossed. I'm going to do a mass exodus of this room and all of its fucking closets. I want to get a new desk. Daniel bought me a mic like 6 years ago that I haven't used yet, just like his.
I bought him and TC like a mic just like this. You see them fucking using it right now?
Man,
I don't know why he bought me one.
They're still glow.
I don't know why he bought me one.
At PJ's house.
TC's is literally downstairs. He literally just randomly sent me a mic one day, and he was like, "Here," and I'm like, "Mine works great." I don't know, but anyways, when old Trusty's starting to wear out here. She's been a good girl. Mm-hmm. She went through a house move with me, but my little Amazon special here, we're getting ready to retire this old bitch. But I'm in the same boat as you. I've upgraded like my monitor and my keyboard and shit, but my actual tower is just gangster old. The mic is old. My desk is held together with fucking like sheet metal screws because it was a marketplace find. I'm getting ready. I want to redo all this shit. I want to kind of set up like Daniel's got. Move my desk away from the wall, kind of pretty much just rotate where I'm at now, and have a backdrop and shit. So you're preaching to the choir, dude. I'm right there with you. I'm getting ready to spend some coin that I don't have to spend for you ungrateful fuckers. Just I don't
join the Patreon.
Yeah, fucking $5 a month. You can help a motherfucker buy a computer. No. The Patreon really is probably going to go more towards like giveaway items, probably, for the most part. But that's another conversation. Hopefully that little thing will take off. I have been really slow on getting it going. It's finally going. We got a video up there, members only video.
Is it posted?
Yeah, it's posted. Yep.
I'm gonna have to go watch it later.
Yeah, see, our own guy don't even watch the shit. How am I gonna get an audience in here when our own fucking people won't watch the fucking show? We had a lot of fun with that, by the way. Just for it's not like it's a secret. We did a Nintendo 64 game ranking because it's just kind of like
I was about to ask him what his top 10 were. He grew up in the same time we did.
Yeah. You played Nintendo 64 a lot when you were coming up?
Oh yeah.
Top 10 right now. Or top 5 if that's too much on the spot.
Just give them top 3. Just top 3.
And if you say the wrong ones, I'm kicking you out of the fucking server right now.
I'm going to go GoldenEye for one. Okay. I don't think you can go wrong there.
Just fucking sweating bullets right now.
I'm going to go GoldenEye, Zelda.
Hell yeah.
And probably Mario Kart, whichever one was on that.
No, I'm playing.
Neither one of them ever played Zelda, and I felt for them. They just
you're missing out. That's the first almost open world game.
Yeah, never
so good.
Holds up. Yeah, I had a certain. I'm not going to tell you because if you want to know, join the fucking Patreon. But I had a certain game. I had a certain game on my number one, and now I've started playing another game. And I'm like, fuck, I want to redo. I want to redo this whole thing because now it's not. I will say this. Right now, it would be a battle between GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie for number one. I'm back on Banjo-Kazooie, and it scratches the nostalgia itch more than anything I have played in the last year or two. Yeah,
I told you.
I almost well up when I'm laying in bed playing. I'm like, because I'm playing on a Switch. I'm so fucking old now. I'm laying in the bed, sore, gray, married with kids. I used to do this when I was a wee little lad. Oh man, but yeah. So fucking Patreon, it's doing great. We got a whole $3 in the bank now. Hey, shout out! I'm not gonna. We have a member, but that's just kind of like a ghost member. We're not going to get into much details of that. But shout out to Mike Ryan for being the first official member on the Patreon one time. Hell yes! And then Stephen Hatch came in.
Mike Ryan Clutch.
Is it? I don't know. It's Mike Ryan 87 on Instagram.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's one of Hatch's buddies.
Oh, it's not Black Ryan. Not Black Ryan.
No.
Oh, then it's not Clutch.
No.
No.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. Definitely not him. No, we'd have to pay him. But no, I was playing. Oh my god.
He would probably find a way to make us pay him for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah. I digress. Fucking Patreon, dude. I got to get on we have a Discord and everything set up, but I haven't like added none of the 2 members to it. I think me and Dan are the only ones on it. I've just, like you were saying with your PC, this is really the only thing I use my PC for. And any of my friends that are on my Discord see that I have like 7,000 hours in Farm Simulator. It's because of my 5-year-old. Like I play it. I'm not too proud to say that I don't play it. I play that motherfucker. But my 5-year-old will come in this bitch and just straight up plant 7,000 acres of corn and not miss a lick. And I'm like, bruh, what the fuck are you doing? But that is the only.
You gotta let people know when he's playing.
Oh my god,
dude!
Yeah, so my son
sending him messages.
My son's playing Farm Simulator one day, and TC messaged me on Discord and was like, "Fuck you, you stupid little motherfucker." And I'm no, that wasn't a message, but it was close. and he messages me on Facebook or something. He was like, "Yeah, way to leave me on unopen on fucking Discord." I'm like, "Dude, Jacob's on the computer." Oh. Oh my god. I might play some farm sim when we get off of here. Plant me some beans, dude.
Oh my god, you're gonna go flick your fucking bean.
I need to flick my bean. I'm a little bricked up right now.
All right, I want to backtrack on a little bit on what killed paintball in the Carolinas. For us,
God, that was a huge sidebar.
I know. So for us, our original field owner at first it was Duck and Dive, and then it got called Atlantic Coast Paintball. He sold it to somebody else that had a team out there. His name was Jody Cooper. All right, he was always a fucking problem out there. I think he got too greedy, and I would say that for us around the Florence area, greed is what drove his fucking like paintball field in the fucking dirt. Because I told the story before, but he had a system that he basically was being grandfathered in. If you would write your name down on a tab, like notepad or whatever, it's like, hey, if you get a case next weekend or whatever, you pay the tab or you don't play until you pay the tab. And it was an honor system, right? No flaws whatsoever. Then he takes over, and his like son or stepson or whatever the fuck he was, started putting my name like 2 or 3 times down a fucking weekend. And there was like a solid like 3 months in a row that I didn't make a single Saturday or Sunday out there because I was too busy with my fucking girlfriend at the time. And yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
Pete just trying so hard not to fucking lose it right now. But
you got some thoughts on that girlfriend, PJ?
No, I'm good. I'm just
holy shit.
I done lost my fucking dynasty jersey over this shit.
Well, long and the short, man, he tried to like ban me from the fucking field because he said that I had like hundreds of dollars of unpaid fucking paint tabs. I'm like, I haven't been out there in like months, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? And it took like almost 6 or 7 different people that played. It's like, he hasn't been out here. Why are you trying to charge him for, X, Y, and Z? And it's like, well, his name's on the fucking notebook. His name's on the tab, blah, 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 blah. And every single time my name's on there, it's written different. So I'm like, come on, man. Like, I have chicken scratch for handwriting. So like, it's always consistently,
yeah,
chicken scratch.
Super
There's one time
shitty.
that shit was written in fucking cursive. I'm like, come on now.
I'm from Turbeville. I ain't even know what cursive be.
He failed English. That impossible. Like, you know what I mean? So I like for our area in general, I think for the most part, greed threw the fucking field under, but life, like you said, like, kids kind of got out of the sport. Well, the team that held it together broke apart as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's like fracture broke apart. Like the Ivy brothers, they like real life happened. Like one of the dudes had Yes. Well, not only getting like old, but like the dude had twins. You know what I mean? And so that took.
It's a big life change.
Yeah, like twin girls at that. So he was like, oh well, paintball's fucking done. You know what I mean? So like, not only did that happen, yet like TC's counting his fucking 30 kids. Dude couldn't pull out of a fucking driveway.
IRS hate to see that bitch coming.
That's for quitters.
Dude, he thinks he works for fucking Little Debbie making all these cream pies and shit.
Remember how I've said there's no rules on this? We're gonna pump the brakes on that. We're never allowed to say.
I'm given the rule.
Never allowed to say cream pie again. Never, unless we're talking about oatmeal. All right.
Oh man, you heard it first.
I hate it here. Daniel is the only one on this show that has ever gotten any rules. I had to dial his ass back on the F-bombs one time because one of his episodes, it was like a recap, an event recap that he played
World Cup.
Yeah, and he was
we
like,
got shafted out.
Like, the fucking motherfucking refs fuck me in the ass and fucking no lube and fucking just F-bomb. I'm like, yeah, bro. I went back
the
and
military came out big time, man.
I re-listened to that episode while I was editing it and everything. And I literally texted Daniel and I was like, hey, you remember how I said there was no rules on podcasts? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, time out. There's a rule now. You've got, and I cussed so bad, you have got to pump the brakes on the F-bombs. And he was like, it's not even that fucking bad. I released the episode. I said, you're going to see. I released the episode. And I think I even put on the Instagram story, I was like, if you could tell me how many F-bombs Daniel says in the first 10 minutes, I'll send you a sticker. And I can't remember who it was, but they literally just commented the other day that they were the ones that counted. But anyways, Daniel texted me like later on that afternoon. He was like, bro, that shit was so bad. I had no idea. I'm like, I fucking told you. So
I was like, okay, maybe you were right.
We have to reel him in sometimes.
Yeah, man.
But Hunter, I agree with what you said earlier. The 08 recession and everything had a lot to do with it. Because I mean, look at like Andrew and Austin, Daniel. They just kind of, everybody started falling apart. They kind of went to shooting, skeet. Skeet. But they went to shooting clay pigeons, if you will. That's what you'd rather call them.
There you go.
We don't call them that shit here because we're not fucking stupid. But maybe it was cheaper for them to do that. I don't know. It probably ain't now, but I think they still do it. But people just couldn't afford to play. People couldn't afford to play. I mean, we couldn't afford to play when the economy was good. But and what Daniel said, just when the field changed, and for us, we didn't know it at the time. We took it for granted, but our field was a fucking mecca of paintball. We had two full-size X-ball fields. I mean, which kind of spanned the name of our podcast because, when we think of nostalgia and how we used to play, the allure of the field that we played at was two huge fucking X's in the center. You pull up to the field. Well, for us, we pull up to the field and wouldn't see them because we were the one blowing the shits up every morning. But
everyone else got to
see the sweet ass. We had one old field with the skinny X, and then we were able to unbox a brand new field with the fat X.
In 07, when 07 debuted the big ass fat X.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had that. We had hyperball course. We actually had a woods ball course that I never stepped foot in.
Nope.
Could care less.
We refused back then. We were like, nope.
Not when that'd be like leaving your Porsche in the garage to go drive a fucking Pinto. No matter how you twist it, I don't care how much money you put in that Pinto, it's not as good as the Porsche, right? So, but it was just we loved that field, and it was a second home to us. And then it changed ownership, and policies started changing, and all of a sudden that orange field stopped getting blown up because we didn't have the player count, and then we were blowing up the red field. And then the netting was going bad. They wouldn't put the money back into the netting, and then you'd pull up to the field, and the grass would be knee high and shit. It's just, I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of why that field failed, other than the player base died down. But for me personally, you could watch the decline. It was kind of like a rapid over the course of 6 months in a way. Not immediately after he bought it, but he bought it.
You could just instantly tell the change.
Fracture kind of disbanded, and then just people started going to like Greenville to play. People were going to Rock Hill to play, and we're kind of seeing that. Well, not kind of. Just most recently, I started playing it in Darlington. The Carolina Warriors had their own field right off of Highway 52, and they had a pretty good thing going out there. Then all of a sudden, this guy we call Uncle Dave, he owns the property, he owns the field, he maintains it. He built, because his son plays on the team, Ethan, and they made this field for the team. Brand new bunkers, netting. I mean, it's just a nice place, big ass compressor, whatever you want. And some of these guys, I think some of them live that way. I'm not sure, and they're probably gonna message me like, "You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about." And I'm not talking about like Tran and Kelsey, but some of these guys, they would just rather go to Rock Hill and play. They'd rather go to Rock Hill because they had one or two guys that would come from Rock Hill to Twisted, and then those two guys would be like, "Hey, y'all should come up here this weekend and play." And they're like, "It makes more sense for you two to come down than for all of us to go up there. We have this field to ourselves." Even like Matt Monroe, he's like the coach, manager. He's Monkey. I don't know if you know Monkey Monroe, John Monroe.
I've heard his name.
Yeah, it's his dad, and he's a great player as well. But he'd be like, "Hey, I have these teams lined up to come scrimmage with us this weekend." I'd be like, "Oh well, 4 or 5 of us are going to Rock Hill, so the other 3 or 4 of y'all can just kind of, good luck. Maybe y'all can find some walk-ons." And then all of a sudden,
that would be, man.
All of a sudden, that field just started kind of, they still have it as far as I know. But I don't understand. You're taking it for granted and you don't see it, but you have this facility to your disposal, and you'd rather drive 3.5 hours up the road to fucking Palmetto, which Palmetto's a great place. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But damn, if I got a paintball field in my backyard and I got teams coming to scrimmage,
you best believe I'm going in the backyard.
Yeah, you damn right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You damn right. We had Carolina Extreme open up by Lake Kiwi, which is about an hour away from us.
Yeah.
But PBC is 20 minutes away from me, and I have a membership.
Yeah.
So, it's a little hard to go up there if I'm not at least getting what my membership gets me at PBC.
What does that? Because what does the membership get you there?
It's basically prepaid entry and then reduced paint.
Okay.
So, which I feel is like standard for most fields. I personally feel like if you're buying a membership, it should be a deal, not just paying up front,
like consolidated all at one time.
Yeah. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like it used to be that way. We've definitely seen some like greed issues in the Carolinas. Carolina Paintball Park. It was outside of
Jesus Christ.
Bishopville. Bishopville. That's where that's me and TC started back off of our long break back at Carolina Paintball Park. Fuck that guy. They ran the Warriors out of there because they wanted to start charging them field fees and shit, and they're like, well, we're coming here, we're blowing up the bunkers, we're maintaining the grounds, we're doing this, we're doing that. No, you guys are going to start charging. We're going to start charging off a field fee and all day paint. I mean, all day air. And they're like, no, that just. And I agree. If you got these guys coming out and they're working on Saturday, repairing netting, repairing your old ass bunkers, this, that, and other, you can't charge it. They're paying the field fee in their labor. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Well past it too.
And here's the thing, there's a lot of fields out there, right, that are only recreational fields.
Yeah.
And they do okay. They're kind of at the mercy of the economy and private groups. But I think for a mid-sized field, you got to like paintball. If you don't like paintball, don't fuck with tournaments then.
Yeah.
And you probably just shouldn't fuck with paintball, period, if you don't like it.
100%, yeah.
Pre-09, you probably could fuck with paintball and make a decent bit of money. but ever since then, and you know, COVID, we saw a big jump, like just general recreational side of the sport, right? And the NXL, from what they've been telling us with their numbers, they keep going up every year. I do feel like the NXL is growing right now, and recreational side's not as much. But you know, fucking, it cost me $4 to fill up my or $4 a gallon to fill up my tank the other week. So, yeah, unless you really like this paintball thing, you aren't going to think to go out and play that. Now, with that said, I just paid like $60 to take the family to the fucking movie theater today, which is ridiculous. You know, $60 would have gotten me a movie and a date and a banging Chili's back in the day.
For real, man.
Triple dipper right now, bitch.
Yeah, right. So I think there's definitely been greed. I think a lot of fields don't appreciate the teams. Like, a small team's hard to appreciate from a field, but like if you've got 1 or 2 teams out there, so 20 dudes, let's say, that you know are going to show up most Sundays and buy a $45 to $50 case. A, you're making money off of it. B, that's consistently moving product, right? And we all know paintballs go bad eventually. So having a steady group that will turn over that product is good for the business. And I think just some fields don't appreciate that anymore, and they want to make the $80 they make off the rentals off the rec guy. But your rec guy's going out there, you know, let's say they miss a weekend. The hardcore tournament guys miss a weekend a month. You're still got someone out there 3 times versus in 1 month versus a heavy recreational guy you might see 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, you're still making more money off your tournament dude versus your recreational guy. And I think a lot of people just don't have that foresight. Ken Barrett, you know, I grew up around that guy. And I saw him from player to team owner to coach to field owner. And he sat down with me, and he's for an interview early on. He said, you know what? When I owned what is now PBC Upstate, it was important to have the teams and organizations, not only to like grow the sport, but because he knew, okay, regardless of what happens, I'm going to have these 20 guys out here on this day. They're all going to buy a case. Yeah. So I can plan for that, right? And Ken's probably one of the, you know, as far as like upstate paintball, like the premier guy who's taking care of the sport in this area until he stepped away, you know, for kids and life reasons. Yeah. But you know, shout out DC Dark Carnival for what they're doing then the ICPL now. Last year was awesome for him.
Hell yeah.
But you know, you gotta take care of your regular customers, right?
And like you said about those organizations and teams, it's good to have them out there, because just take you know, the 3 of us, for example. You know, one of the first times we rolled up to, you know, what was at the time Duck and Dive, and we played at Liberty Paintball up, you know, in Upper Florence. Fracture was there. So, you know, we have these guys in these damn bright ass orange jerseys, just, you know, all matching badass jerseys, you know, names and numbers on the back of them. You know, it's just, I know Daniel probably feels the same way when we pulled up and we see this group of guys all matching and shit. And then I'm like, oh, damn, I want to be like that. And then we're kind of gathering all of our shit together out the trunk of the car, and you can hear the 15 balls a second with all 5 guns off the break. And you look back, and, you know, the whole team is just, you know, guns up, and it's an allure. And then I'm like, damn, I want to try for that. You know, I want to be that. I'm going to keep coming every weekend because I want to be on that team.
It either happens one or 2 ways from my entire time playing this fucking sport. Either A, it happens what PJ just said, or B, they like, oh, that's too fucking much. That looks dangerous. That's scary.
Yeah.
The gun's shooting too fast. Yeah,
They
it
did that at
happens either
Hoppers,
or.
didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they do it at Hoppers? Which is a shame. Hoppers
Several.
is such a nice facility. There's probably nobody that plays out there no more.
Was a nice facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's where like having it. So we talk a lot about teams scaring away recreational players, but if you have good teams and you have good relationships with those teams, and coach them with what you expect from them, as far as having new guys come in, like it's not a problem. It's a net positive if you encourage those teams. And I get layout practice is layout practice, right? But even when I was on relapse, and we had layout practice, if someone rolled up and didn't have a homie, like we'd get them spins, you know. Is it a little less than like if we're just out there practicing? Yeah, but we'd still make sure they have a good time, and we check in with them during the day.
Yeah.
And that's really important. You know, ultimately, like especially in the Carolinas, like the max you're doing here is D4. Like, get off your fucking high horse. You aren't special.
Yeah.
You know,
that dude, I can't stand that part. Holy fuck, I can't stand that part.
You know, it just is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's D4. Like, it matters. It matters to me as a competitor, but like nationally, like your sponsorships aren't sponsorships, which like that's a rabbit hole we can definitely get into if you want to. But
Well,
you know,
flip side of that coin, you know, I come back into the sport. I'm not looking to join a team and go on a run. You know, I want to go get some spins, shoot my gun, you know, feel sore in the morning. That's kind of the goal. And I went to a paintball field. I'm going to try not to divulge too much information here. I went to a paintball field and have been talking to somebody about going. They were like, yeah, come out. Well, I didn't know anybody there. Like, I literally showed up on my own. Had no fucking idea who anyone. I just knew these guys from meeting them one time. I knew one or two of the guys from meeting them one time. And so I'm geared up and everything, and I'm kind of sitting against the net, and they're just doing 5-on-5s. You know, they have 10 people. They're doing 5-on-5s. And I'm like, I'm going to walk through the net. And I'm like, hey, you know, y'all think I can get a spin? And the one guy was like, yeah, probably not. And I'm like,
yeah, see, like that can't happen.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, telling someone like, hey, let us get this one and then we'll get you on the next one.
Yeah.
Totally acceptable. But being like, nope, sorry. I know you just paid entry and air and bought a case, but fuck you.
Yeah, he was like,
that's just unacceptable.
Well, after about 2 points, like I'm literally, I might have been even texting Daniel. I'm like, I'm about to just fucking pack up and leave, dude. Because this is, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock. I haven't gotten the first fucking point in. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to watch. I don't care. I want to, you know, I want to play. I got the itch. I want to play. And I'm just before getting ready to leave. And one of the players is like, hey, if you want to spin, I'm going to sit out for a little bit. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'll go spin. So I walk over to the box, and old boy that told me that I wasn't going to play was like, yeah, you need to go down there. And I was like, okay. So I walked the far side, and I've been watching these guys that morning. So he put me with I mean, they're all
the lower end.
They're all kind of scrubs, but he put me down there with them, and
the lower squad.
Yeah, and you know, I'm like, okay, I've been here before. My brother used to do this shit to me all the time. I know what the fucking deal is. Like, I know this deal. So, you know, they do, you know, paintball in 5 or whatever, and I touch up. And I go to like a 20 stand-up can, and this dude's just like fucking high-stepping to like the corner, and I'll just follow this bitch all the way to the corner, and when he walks off the corner, I'm following him to the net to the point where he walks out, and I'm like, yeah, you gonna eat this fucking shit, bitch. And then the next point, I mean, the point went by so fast, they were like, hey, spin it, y'all got paint, turn it. So we ran to the other side, and he was like, hey, you want to roll with us? And I'm like, no. No, I'm gonna try to fucking shoot you again. And same thing,
shoot your ass again.
Same thing, dude. He tried fucking high stepping to the corner, and I was just whoa. And I mean, bye bye. You know, have a good time. And then I didn't line up with him no more the rest of the day. He pretty much sat the rest of the day because I'm.
Is that the same dude that kept on overshooting me on purpose?
Maybe. I don't remember who was shooting you that much, but it might have been. But yeah, so I walked him off twice, and I don't think I sat him. I think he was just kind of fatigued from the day because those boys, they were starting at like 9:30 and wrapping up at 1 o'clock. Like just what am I doing here? But that's neither here nor there. It was back in a couple years ago, but it really killed my vibe because I was excited to be there. I was excited to play. I've been talking to somebody on the internet about this shit, and they're like, yeah, come on out. And then just to be completely dismissed, like I was nothing. And I ain't shit. Like, don't get me wrong. I ain't a fucking nothing to a paintball gun. But it was just like, that's not how I would have carried myself. Just like you said, hey, all right, yeah, we'll sit somebody. Maybe I'll even sit, and we'll get you in. Yeah. You're here. You're geared up. You paid money. We'll get you in. Not just, fuck you, kid. Go sit down. And then now you want to be my homie after I blow your shit smooth off. Just.
Well, it's just super important to like be a good ambassador outside of the net.
It is the most important, dude. Just like Daniel and I, we'd go down to Savannah and play in hoppers, and a lot of times we'd have a case or two left over because we're just gassed for the day or whatever. And you have to walk through the rec area to walk back to your car. And these little kids would be sitting there like counting out their fucking paintballs and shit. And Daniel looks at me and kind of look at each other, and we just like set a case up on the table. Hey, y'all have fun. And dude, they're like, oh my God, it's like you gave them a fucking $1,000. And I'm like, hey, go. Man. I'm not going to do nothing with that paint. It's going to come here and turn into marbles. Go have fun. Go have fun, dude. You
got to build that atmosphere, man.
I got my money's worth out of it because, just like, I wasn't playing necessarily recreational. I was playing SCPFOAs and stuff, but one of my prized paintball possessions is a gray fracture jersey from Mark Ivey. I messaged him on fucking MySpace one day. That's how long ago this was.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, we're coming up Sunday to play. It's my birthday. I'm like, all I want is I just want to wear your gray fracture jersey. That's all I want. And he was like, hell yeah, we can make that happen. Well, at the end of the day, I took it off and I was like, hey, you want me to wash this and bring it back? He's like, no, you can have it. I'm like, no, this is your jersey. He's like, no, for real. Because we used to always pick because I was number 13, he was number 13. And I'd be like, hey, you got my number? And he'd be like, hey, but
fucking nerds.
And he was like, you can have it. And to this day, I have it. Daniel tried to take it like 7 times. But I left it at my parents because I knew where it was. I'm like, I know it's in my closet at Mama's house. It's not going anywhere. It is in my fucking closet now from the damn gear snatcher right here. But yeah, look, he's smiling with a shit-eating ass grin on his face. But just like I said, I wasn't a kid off the street. He and I had known each other, and I was trying to compete. But I'm 33 years old, so this happened when I was like 13, 12 or 13, 14. And to this day, that's probably my, to this day. Oh, the babies are sleeping.
You better quit.
Tammy's going to fucking cut my throat. But that is probably my most prized paintball possession. It's a very close tie between that jersey and my blue profilers. Because that was my first high-end mask. And
mine disintegrated.
Yeah, Daniel had the original die-in visions, not even i3s, the die-in visions.
No, I had those. Yeah. They didn't hold out long.
No, man, I still got the frames.
Yeah,
that's it.
The bottom section.
Do you remember how disappointed both of us were? It wasn't even my mask, but on Action Village, it showed like a blue lens. And we were like, hell yeah, that's a cool looking lens. Like, it wasn't like a blue mirrored. It was just kind of like, I don't know.
Like a light blue tint.
Yeah. Daniel gets this mask and he opens it up and we're like, Allah. We hold this bitch up and it was the clear one. Like, it was the clear frame.
The clear one.
And the clear vents. And the fucking lens was blue. And Daniel puts it on. And he's like, I can't see shit out of this thing. He pulls it off.
Damn.
Like, yeah.
I can't see fucking shit out of this.
All I hear is criticize. But Daniel's like, I really can't see nothing out of it. The blue was a protective film. So we pulled the fucking blue off, and it's a clear lens, and Daniel's like, I hate it. I hated it because it was so small. I got a big fucking meathead.
It was tiny, and somehow Dye managed to make smaller masks after that. For
the I4 is the worst mask I have ever put on my face.
It's a little rough as someone who played with it. The goggles are okay. It's just like
I would rather wear the whole JT, the JT Elite headpiece,
no Spectra shield.
Yes, than a fucking I4.
Oh my god.
I will go on a paintball
That's
field.
a bold statement.
I will go on a paintball field like this before I put a fucking I4 on my face again.
Jesus Christ.
I do have Nick Sloviak's I5s up here from his Iron Man days, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Back at that black silhouette.
I try not to light it up that much because it's a fucking disaster back there. Little fun fact for you. You brought up Carolina Paintball Park earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my homies bought that shit.
Oh, really?
Straight up. So the owner, one of the guys I know in paintball, was trying to buy that place when the owner decided he was going to try to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And the owner was like, "No, I got to have $1,005,000 for this all of this and blah blah blah." And they were like, "Yeah, you're never going to get that." Well,
I think he told him like 1.5 or 1.4.
Some crazy shit. Like I got to have all this money, and he had the old Valken bunkers that had holes all in them because I almost got those. I'll get back into that, but so my homeboy was like, "Hey, I just bought some land in Bishopville on foreclosure," and I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I got a bunch of paintball shit. You want to come look at it?" And I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" He goes, "Yeah, I paid like $85,000 for everything out there." I was like, "Oh my god!" But they had taken the compressor and all the stock and all this shit. But the field was there, the Woods ball field was there, the pro building was there, like the shop was there. He turned the shop into his house. So I told the Warriors. I'm like, "Hey, my buddy just bought Carolina Paintball Park." And they're like, "Oh my god, is he going to open it back up?" And I'm like, "No, he's about to live in that motherfucker, dude. He's about to live out there."
Dude, but does it still have that pond out there?
No, I don't think so. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. I had to think about
Dude,
that.
that's
When you first pull up, it's on the left.
Yeah.
Bitchin' place to live.
Dude, he called me. He called me. He was like, "Hey, I have all these damn inflatable bunkers. You want to come look at them?" And I'm like, yes, because I'll go put them up at my fucking parents' house way out there in the field and just, whatever. And so I rode out to Bishopville, and it ain't but like 15, 20 minutes from here, straight down 441 from my house. And I pulled up, and he was like, "Yeah," he's old country motherfucker. He's like, "Yeah, my brother piled them up over there with the track code the other day, and he might have punched a couple holes in them." And I'm like, "Well, let's go look at them then." So we ride over there, and there's just gaping fucking holes in these bunkers from where the track code thumb has gotten into it. I just picture like you screwing your old lady and you pop your thumb in her asshole. That's kind of what they were doing in these bunkers. Just like the whole
How the fuck am I gonna get rules, but you say shit like that?
I'm the producer here.
God damn. And the fucking FCC. Holy shit.
Yeah, fuck them. But
Daniel's just mad because he gets it the other way.
Yeah, that's right. Daniel was the bowling ball.
Strike! Why would I get mad when I prefer it that way?
Oh my god. But anyways, so they had these bunkers mixed in with just like dirt and broken light poles because they ripped all the netting down. He kept some of the netting and made a fucking chicken coop out of it. I'll tell you, he's country as shit.
Awesome.
And,
wow.
So I'm trying to pull these bunkers out of this pile of shit. I'm like, I'm gonna salvage all this shit. I'm like, I'm gonna have a field. Dude, these things have been sitting in the sun so long, deflated. Like they are physically stuck. However they deflated, they're like baked that way, like a fucked up.
Stuck that way.
So dude, like I'm like trying to drag these bunkers off of this hill, and it's just like I'm standing it up, like like it's just solid. And I'm like turning around. I'm turning around. There's a hole here, a hole there. I'm like, fuck. Try the next one, a hole here, a hole here. Oh, son of a bitch. And after about 4 bunkers and it's like 150 degrees out there, I was like, "Nah, dude." I said, "Just burn them. Just burn them." He's like, "You don't want them? You don't think you could patch them?" I said, "Just burn them, dude. No." "Well, what about all these totes back here?" I said, "Burn them too. I don't give a shit." But he lives out there now. He closed it all in, built rooms in the shop and everything, and he's got a nice little place out there, man. And shout out to him for being able to do that, because fuck the owner for wanting $2 million for that shithole. Well, it's not a shithole. It's a really nice place out there, but
it is a nice place. But it's in Bishopville, and
terrible location. I mean, it's not far from like I-20, but just I will say this. I can't remember the guy's name. Please forgive me. I want to say it was an acronym name. I cannot remember. But not the guy who owned it, but there was a guy who ran it. He was doing amazing. He was putting his own money into it, paying revs and shit out of his own pocket. We actually talked to him in our first Red versus Blue. Because, Daniel, you remember we recognized the guy that reffed us for the bachelor party?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were talking. I was talking to him, and the guy, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. And he was like, "What do you know about Carolina Paintball Park?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we played there one time. It's a shame that it shut down." He was like, "Yeah, I used to run that place." And I'm like, "Oh, that was you." Like I recognize you, whatever. And we talked for a little bit, but he did a lot to try to keep that place alive. And it's a shame that the owner was such a piece of shit. I mean, they ran Crisis off, they ran the Warriors off. Yeah, it's a shame it had to be that way.
Yeah, I can't remember. I've met him once or twice, like back before he opened it. The guy that ran it.
Yeah,
and he got screwed.
Yeah, he was
big time,
super nice guy. I cannot remember his name. I'm gonna look real quick. Y'all keep talking.
My friend, that's usually how it goes, man.
Yeah,
that's usually how it fucking goes. That's the bad part about it. But like, remember how like my comment where I said like greed just basically ruined it on half the fucking aspect. But I can't even count how many times I offered to go to our local field and like cut the grass, wash bunkers and stuff like that. It's like, hey man, it's like, I'm a little tight for money right now because I have a shit box I'm trying to keep running for me to go back and forth to work. Can I come cut grass like I used to? Or, wash the bunkers. And like we would really, really wash the bunkers like with a bucket of soap and like go through it and everything by hand. No fucking pressure washer. It was all by hand for like the first 6 or 7 times we'd done it. But I was like, hey man, I'll come out here like every Saturday. I was like, if you need referees, I was like, I'll do that. If you need somebody to like run the shop, you can show me how to do that. I was like, I'll work for a case of paint. I was like, I'll do a whole fucking day's worth of work for like one case of paint. I was like, that's how bad I want this right now. And he wouldn't do it. And he was just like, no, I can handle this myself. No, I'm like, you clearly can't because the fucking grass is up to our fucking knees and we don't even know where our fucking snake is right now.
Like, there's actual snakes.
Yeah, dude.
Snakes where you just claw through the grass.
Yeah, man. Holy shit. Y'all crawl up and down a couple of times, make some indentions. That'll be your snake. But it was just bad. He was just a bad fucking like business owner at that. And then we ran into the same fucking shit at Hoppers, and like Hoppers was the mecca. And like I will die on this fucking hill though. Like if you have a paintball field in a good location, rec ballers will keep your field afloat.
Oh yeah.
You will never really truly make money off tournament players. You know what I mean?
Billy was his name.
Who?
Yes,
Billy.
Billy. But like, there's the owner at Hoppers, and then there's the fucking manager. We even had a whole fucking episode on this shit because it just went so downhill. He drove all of us on Georgia Extreme. He drove us out. It just made it so fucking impossible for us to play down there, and it was a fucking shame. I'll give credit. I'll give credit when credit is due, right? Wes Idle went out of his way to get turf for that field and to help it and all this other shit. And then there was even somebody, his name was Jamie Fowler. He bought a field to put on there. You know what I mean? And then it's just one thing. I don't want to get too much into it because it's just like repeating old content, but the management ran us out. And I really wouldn't be surprised if Speedball's completely dead out there by now because it was pretty much dead before I even left and before I even.
It's a shame, dude. It was such a nice field.
Yeah, dude. It's just
the best field I have ever played on.
It's a shame.
great.
Well, and that's the thing with speedball. Like, the crowd maintains themselves.
Yeah.
But it does require a little bit more maintenance, right, on the owner's side. But I think it's worth it if you can have
But we did the maintenance
20,
too.
30 dudes out there.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
they did it all, bro. Like they Hoppers didn't do shit with that field down there. We were just kind of like the outlaws down there in the very bottom.
Other than building pits, putting a Connex down there, a container down there to store their air compressor and shit like that. Like they did that part of setting up the infrastructure, but in the maintenance of everything, it was all us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No referees were down there. It was always on the honor system. Like there were some mishaps down there with some guys from Charleston and shit. Smoke would come out there, but it was all like self-maintained by the speedball players and shit like that. Blown up, taken down, washed, field set up, yada yada yada. And it just got the juice wasn't worth the squeeze at the end of the day.
Yeah,
bro. Sidebar.
Well, and that's my thing. If you're paying, sorry, real quick,
go ahead,
if you're paying a membership or something, I expect like the field to be blown up.
1,000%.
If I'm getting a deal and it's not a membership, it's like a sponsorship, then I'll blow up the field. I don't care. But if I'm paying for a membership or working for a membership in some other capacity, like that's the stuff that drives me up the wall.
That should be I should not have to. And maybe this sounds entitled.
Touch anything.
Yeah, I should be able to just put my shit together, air up, paint up, and step on the field if I'm paying for like a monthly or yearly membership. Now I go to Twisted Paintball. And David's not paying me, and he's not charging me anything for field fee or air. I just buy paint from him. I've been there before where I was the first person out there for like 2 hours, and the field had been pulled up because they cut the grass. Like Uncle Dave, he'd pull everything off, and he would bush hog and then zero turn or whatever. And I'm fucking looking at a layout on my phone, dragging bunkers and staking them down, which they had like the big ass PVC pipe with metal rods in it.
Yeah.
But I'm pulling bunkers on the field, blowing them up and shit because I want to play paintball. And that was one of those days where like 4 or 5 people showed up and we just did 2-on-2s for a couple hours. I didn't even know anybody was coming. I was like, well, I'm at least going to blow up some of these bunkers and I'm just going to shoot my gun. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But sidebar on Smoke. So, Daniel, the last time I was down there at Hoppers and Smoke was there, I went over to their pits and I was like, hey, guys, I'm taking some pictures today, but I'm also playing. So, like, if I'm over here in your pits taking pictures or I'm at your start box, like, I'm not, because they were there for, like, a layout practice. I said, I'm not gathering information on what you're doing to tell these guys what they're doing. I'm just here for walk-ons and to take pictures. And they're like, all right, cool. They're all real nice. And I said, I just want to let you know also, don't use me as a bird dog because I could be taking a picture of nothing trying to set my camera up and you're going to be shooting at nothing. What the fuck do they do? I'm at the snake. Like I'm leaned up against the net at the snake taking a picture of a fucking caterpillar trying to figure out which ISO setting I want. And this dude's like Jacob Edwards, Kentucky left-handed in me. I'm just like, he puts like 6 fucking pods over me and the snake has been clear for the whole point. And I'm like, you're a dumb bitch. I told you. Like, I legit told you this shit. And I went over there. I was like, you bird dogged me, didn't you? And he was like, oh, kinda. And I was like, yeah, this is the pictures from there. He goes, there was nobody there? I said, no, you stupid bitch. I told you that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good times.
We're coming up on 2 hours, so y'all want to kind of reel this in.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm good if y'all are. I don't know how much time Hunter's got, but we're about 2 hours, and I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I still got to get me a shower. I fucking little raunchy.
I can smell you through the mic.
I smell like Old Spice and bad decisions.
I'm kind of tired of hearing TC talk though, so like we might want to wrap this up.
I want to hit some questions. I don't have any written down, but I had some that I wanted to ask you, and just kind of like around content creation and shit. Kind of like rapid fire. TC, you can come up with some too, because I've been rambling all night. So
it's been a fun conversation, boys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. what do you think is probably the most challenging part of being a content creator in this space?
Well, you got to tamper your expectations, like
Yeah.
if you want to do it, right? There's only going to be one Matt the Gym Rat at a time in our space. There's just not a, well,
Shout
I
out
guess
to
you
our
got
boy
Matt.
one time.
Yeah, shout out Matt. Super nice dude, right?
Love him.
And there's like Austin out in Arizona that does like Matt stuff.
Yeah.
Different, but like similar. But like you got them, and then you got PTG, right? And like those are kind of the big ones. And then you got Shelda, and then you got guys like us.
Yeah.
So you like just tamper your expectations on it. You got to want to do it because it's fun for you.
Yeah.
Not to get a payday. Like YouTube's never going to pay me.
No, hell no. We're paying to be on YouTube.
Yeah,
They're gonna pay us to lead.
yeah, they might pay me to take my shit down. But in 5 years or whenever I decide to like hang up the podcast, which I don't plan on doing anytime soon, I'll have a collection of work that I can look back on and be proud of, and I've captured this moment in paintball.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it, and that's not to say like don't read the books and work on the SEOs and stuff to make it better, and while that helps people discover you, but like you gotta want to do it for you and for the love of the game, not because you want to be like paintball famous.
Yeah.
I know you guys have probably gotten it. Like the first time someone recognized me from my show, I was like, "Holy shit! That's cool."
Yeah. Yeah.
But ultimately, like we touched on before, like we're paying to do this. We aren't making money or breaking even. So like you just do it for fun and do content that you like, that you want to watch. So ultimately, like at the end of the day, it's almost like having a bunch of home movies, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We literally, we call this all the time. We call this our passion project.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody else hit me with a question here.
A question? What is your biggest pet peeve in making content?
I think what some people don't understand is the amount of time you spend with it. My shows are typically like an hour long, which means I've probably at minimum spent an hour and a half with that guest, with pre and post show shit. And then I'm going to spend at least 3 hours creating the promotional material for it. So like the thumbnails, the clips that go onto the reels for Instagram, and
you do a great job with those. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Thank you.
I meant to write that down. I wanted to commend you on that because you do an amazing job. When I'm on our, especially our platform page, like not necessarily my personal, because it's all like trucks and big titted hoes and stuff, but like if I'm on the Center 50 Instagram and I'm scrolling through, it's just a lot of fucking Planet Paintball reels, and I'm like, man, this is dope. Like I need to do this shit. Like I told Steven Hatch from the Sidelines, dude, he actually hit me up the other day and he was like, hey brother, that fucking Nintendo 64 shit y'all did was badass. Like, hey, we want to do like an Xbox 360 ranking. What do you think? Like, are you okay with that? I said, dude, I don't give a fuck. Use anything. Like I always say every time, case, copy, and steal everything. Dude, I'm telling you. I just do, our ranking episode stuff, I use that from a horror movie, like a horror game podcast that I like to watch. They rank horror game, whatever. And I'm like, man, that'd be cool to do that in the paintball space. So, and I look at your reels and I look at how you have your, like just your show itself set up with all your sponsors. And, what we have right now, which is boring. This is just Discord cameras. You know what I mean? I could set things up in OBS if I was, had more time to sit down and really get it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just takes time. Like it takes a lot of time.
I don't have a lot of free time in my day with 2 kids. I work 12 to 16 hours a day. My wife works full time, so there's not a lot of time for me to sit down. When I have time to sit down at the computer, I'm with you guys, So, but yeah, all that long ass spiel just to say, I think you're doing an amazing job. I love
thank you.
I love the content pushed on the socials with the reels. Amazing job on that. Just the format that you use and the guests that you bring on. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, how everybody's kind of got a platform to speak on. You don't have to be the winner of World Cup NXL Pro to be invited on the show.
Yeah. Well, and that was the goal. Like I kind of said earlier, like, I wanted to give those stories an opportunity, and hopefully like sponsors of those guys and those teams, like see, oh, he did this, and, help him out a little bit more, give him a better discount or something like that at the end of the day. Because I'm at the point now where I've had a couple guys on more than once that are team guys, not like, and I love Josh Conley, but like no one's sponsoring me and Josh on our State of Paintball episodes, So hopefully it's something they can add into their like sponsorship packet at the end of the day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So,
shit.
But in Riverside, and I've spoken about this with other like creators. Riverside is huge on helping generate those clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I went with them. But even with that, like kind of auto AI generated clips, like I'm still spending 3 hours editing the episode and creating everything around it. And that's not counting like the posting, half the time when I post a reel, I'm doing it from my phone on the shitter.
Yeah.
That's when I got time.
Hell yeah.
Y'all know what
men do our best thinking on the shitter.
That's right.
Oh my God. TC, you got a question?
Yeah. So obviously, like I said, you've had a pretty good diversity of folks on there, and I hate to ask you to pick a favorite, but if you had a favorite guest that you'd have said that came on, or somebody you kind of fangirled out about, who
it's been a hot minute since I've fangirled about anyone in paintball. Cowboy Roy from the Excessive Heroes for the Day.
Yeah, Roy Richard.
Roy Richard, yep.
He hasn't been on the show, but he came out to the local field, and I didn't realize it was him. And I was like, "Hey, I really like your Cowboy Roy jersey." He's like, "Thanks, it's mine." My eyes went huge. Like, oh shit!
No, it's me.
Oh my God!
But favorite. I've had a lot of like really great conversations. I don't know if I can name a favorite, but I can list off a couple that are up there for sure. The nephews that play on New Jersey Filthy. It's always fun for me to have them on because I'm capturing what I wish I was doing at their age, right? And I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up rich though. I financed paintball through mowing lawns and stuff. So like nationals was not in the budget, boys. So it's cool to kind of capture their stories. The Rice and Beans kids have been on. The kids I like having on, but I don't like having on because there's issues with kids. So I only have kids on that I personally know. Mm-hmm. So if you reach out to me and you're under 18, I'm sorry, it's not happening.
Agreed.
Because you gotta have. So there's a couple missing episodes that like never went out for various reasons, and one is a kid that reached out, and I was like, sure. I thought I was talking to the adult in the organization, and then he got on, and I was like, okay, we'll shoot this, but I need to talk to your mom first. And like it was very clear, like mom didn't know what was going on. And I told her like after it was done, like I'm gonna send you a private link. You have to send me an email that says I'm okay with this. And she never sent me the email, and that is fine. I don't know if I'd want my 16-year-old on a podcast out in the world, especially hosted by someone I don't know. So, ultimately, like that's an hour I wasted of my time, probably a little bit more with editing and everything. But, that's just where that role comes from now. Todd from KC All Stars was like a really great conversation that I didn't expect to have.
Yeah.
We went like a complete other direction than
This is
like
Todd
I
Boyer,
normally
right?
did. Yes, Todd Boyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm thinking of the same person.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. The New Jersey Jester guys, Julian and all of them. That's like such a storied team. 30 years of constantly running is insane. I've become a big fan of them. Virgil from Blast Camp, just the fact that he'd come on, and I had a couple of the other guys in the organization on previously, but having Virgil on was awesome. Jared from Insane Paintball, like when you're talking about field owners that do it right and do it for a living, like he's the gold standard for me. There was no there's no other business that finances that paintball field.
Yeah,
it's just Jared.
Yeah.
The guys from the NGXL, Josh, the Bear Ridge Barbies / Saints, like those girls are always fun to have on. Actually, all the WNXL girls have been a blast. Brittany hit me up early on. She was my first one. And then I had just had Bella from the High Rollers on, which she had actually hit me up just to say like, hey, I really like your content. Didn't even ask.
Yeah.
And then Brittany's second episode did pretty well on Spotify, which is always interesting. What does well on Spotify versus like YouTube?
Yeah.
And then sometimes a reel will take off and like the episode hasn't taken off and it's like, what's going on here? But those are some of the ones. I guess I've named enough that I haven't shown any favoritism.
DM's up like, yo, what the fuck?
With that said, I gotta say, Zach, who's just came out right before this. Like me and him have spent like probably 5 hours working through that interview together.
Oh man,
in various stages. So like. He's been like such a trooper, and he's definitely up there with one of my favorites. Just because like he was like, I told you I was gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
Hell yeah.
So and it's really cool. Yeah. And I having a gun tech / head of assembly come on is a perspective you don't normally get in paintball. So I was really stoked to have him on and get that perspective, because I've reached out to a couple gun companies that who just haven't gotten back to me.
Yeah, love that. Love that.
Yeah. Which is fine. Sometimes with these bigger companies, it's like, did they actually see the message or not? I don't know. They have auto response and shit on.
Yeah.
But I feel like you saw it.
Yeah, you saw that shit. Don't fucking play me. You better play the lottery, but don't play me.
Yeah. Well, and to cap onto what you said about like, what was it? Copy.
Case. Kill everything.
Yeah. Like the whole, not the format, but like the way I designed my pages was super intentional, and it was based on PTG.
Yeah.
Oh, Wrecking Crew guys. I can't believe I didn't forgot those guys. The Wrecking Crew guys have been awesome to have on, especially Steve, because we got to wean and wane a little bit about, young Stevie.
Yeah.
Not that Reyes, you're dope too, dude. But we got to talk about like the production side of all this.
Yeah, so, young Stevie is a key player in that whole production over there. Play the game. Yeah. He's the shit, man. Shout out to him. Big time. My last question for you, and these guys may have something else, I'm not sure, but my last one is, what is probably your worst experience on your show? I'll just kind of like example, like for us, For me, Daniel can probably, there might be one or two more, but like the worst one we had is we actually got Tyler Harmon to come on for us. And we posted it on April Fool's Day that he was coming on, and everybody thought it was a joke. And and he was limited on time, and I think he was like, yeah, y'all got, we have 30, I have 30 minutes I can give you guys, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm grateful for anything that anybody can give us, not just, I mean, even the fucking roach that crawls across the floor. If he wants to come on, hey, if you got 5 minutes, Mr. Roach, hey, perfect, thank you so much. You got other shit to do. But I don't have roaches. I'm just playing. I pay Terminex $100 a quarter. But before anybody judges me in my nasty ass room full of totes back here,
shout out, that's our new sponsor.
Yeah, Terminex. Fuck yeah, dude. Use code Center50. Use code Center50 for 10% off, or use code please. But anyways, dude, we got like 15 to 20 minutes into the episode. And my OBS just crashed. That bitch just doo like somebody just signed off of AOL Instant Messenger. And and I was like, fuck. Like Daniel was in the middle of talking. I was like, fuck, time out. Hold on, fuck. Daniel was like, what? I'm like, dude, OBS just crashed. Like, I don't have nothing. Like, we just lost all that shit. And Tyler was like, oh man, are you like for real? And I'm like, dude, I'm dead ass serious. Like, just thank you for your time. Like, what how do y'all want to do it? And he was like, I got a couple minutes. Like, I got a couple minutes. So we fired it back up, and we kind of picked up where we left off. And, I said on the episode, like, hey, we had this going. We lost, X amount of minutes per recording. And, but it was just, at the time it was huge to have him on for us, and just for OBS just to crash in the middle of that, instead of like a fucking ranking episode where the three of us could just start over. Hey guys, let's do this shit tomorrow. Try for another day. Just we're on a time crunch. We got a big name on, and OBS is like, nope, you didn't update 6 times today, so we're gonna fuck you. I'm shutting down. So,
fuck you.
That was
That's exactly what the fuck it did.
Fucking, like the SpongeBob meme. All right, I'm gonna head out now. But it's just that was my worst experience on the show, and I'm grateful.
Same.
I'm grateful that he was able to just give us some more of his time. And he was super cool about it, and he was like, oh, that sucks, let's try to run it back. I'm like, all right, cool. He wasn't like, well, fuck, damn, damn, I already told you 15 minutes. He was nothing like that. So it was good in the end, but it was gut wrenching, even more so for me, because I do all the back end work. So I'm like, fuck, all this shit is on me, like it's my fault. And but it's just, I'm starting to fucking get pissed off thinking about it now, so I'm going to quit talking about it. But that was the worst one.
Oh, excuse me.
That's you. If you watch the videos, and I keep looking back towards this monitor to make sure this bitch is recording and not crashed, it's because of that episode.
Yeah, no, I get that. There's been a couple like that, like Zach's, obviously. I don't know. It's weird doing these, right? Because you're dependent on your Wi-Fi and everyone else's Wi-Fi too.
Yeah.
And we pay for this Ethernet shit, but like it rains and it still goes out, right? Mm-hmm. So Zach's was super technically challenging. Like we had switched platforms at one point, and then that didn't work out. So we tried to record like 3 times.
Ooh, God.
Okay, so there's 3 times of us trying to record that didn't make the final episode.
Yeah.
And the final episode's 2 separate recordings. So that was the toughest one. And all those lost sessions are easily like at least an hour and a half to 3 hours long.
That's
of
tough,
us
dude.
troubleshooting. So that was really rough. I've had a couple where like something didn't upload right. And with Riverside, what's nice is it records on my end, it records on the guest end, and then uploads, and that gives you what's normally your viewing experience, right? And then it has a cloud recording that's not as great, and you can't manipulate it as much. and B Pates went a little wonky with that. So his is the cloud recording from NC Hammer.
Oh yeah.
That's one wild fucking dude, man.
B-Pate's awesome.
B-Pate's fucking wild, bro. So, he played with us on Underground Heroes.
Yeah.
That's a wild motherfucker, dude.
He's a fun guy.
Bryce Dallas is a bitch.
That was Pat, actually.
Was it? So much energy. Yep. So much energy. And then Brittany's like lost video for no reason. From the Nevermores, Baltimore Nevermores WNXL team.
You're fucking tripping me out. Now I'm like, I'm double checking over here.
So, and then my buddy started the Black Sheep podcast, which is now defunct, and myself and Gavin from Order 66 were on there. And like they lost all their video, but they had the tracks recorded. Yeah. So, and video to me is like take it or leave it, right? Like I don't sit down on YouTube and watch it. What the video is nice for is for the reels and stuff to drive people to it. Like when I listen to you guys, it's on the car ride up to Hendersonville every day.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's nice to have. It creates promotional material. I don't know how many people are sitting down and watching my face for an hour and a half.
That's why I didn't care about YouTube at all. And when we brought Carl Malkowski on for the first time, he was like, "So y'all do audio only?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You don't do any video?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, you can have video even if you don't use it, just for, just interacting with your guests, And I was like, that's a good idea. I'm not going to do it, but that's a good idea, but and he was right, and I'm glad we do it now. Like I was kind of nervous about it at first. I'm like, this is another element I got to make sure is right. I got to make sure everybody's on the same page. Some people may not even want to do video. Like I'm just gonna have a blank square in their space. I get, whatever, but we haven't run into that. Everybody's been like, oh, do I need a camera or no? And I'm like, yeah, it'd be great. All right, cool, sweet. And, I don't have to worry about that with other content creators such as yourself, because I'm like, hey, fuck it, get your rig going, dude. Let's get it going. Which let's just say somebody like fucking, I don't know, I can't even use Carl for example because he had a podcast way before we did. I don't even know Zach Patient. Zach Patient, like he doesn't have a fucking podcast studio set up. He's got his laptop and an AirPod. But he's like, hey, bro, you need a camera or not? And I'm like, yes, I need, it'd be great. Make sure your fucking hair looks great, bro, because we're getting on. And, it's just, I'm glad we have it now. Daniel really pushed for the YouTube, and it's just like you said, Daniel said the same thing prior that you said about your show. Like, I have all these things kind of like home videos. Daniel has said before, like, hey, if I leave this world, my kids can go back and watch me or listen to me talk about something I'm very passionate about. So now that we have video, just like you said, home video, you can go to the Center 50 YouTube that needs some subscribers. Go check it out if you're listening on Spotify or podcast. We are on YouTube. But they can, our kids or loved ones or friends can go back and be like, damn, there's 700 hours of these ugly motherfuckers just talking about paintball.
I mean, if something happens to me, my son can upload this to AI in a couple of years and get a digital dad that only talks about paintball. But,
by then he can 3D print a dad.
So.
Oh man, you boys got any more questions?
I do not, man.
Nothing.
Hunter,
here.
do you have anything for us?
Dude, just like thank you guys. Like, I gave credit to the other guys for spurring me forward, but you guys having your conversation is also a big influence on why I started having mine. I just think it's fun what you guys do because it's like sitting down at the pro shop. Like
that's what we're going for, dude.
Well, then you're hitting it on the nail, man. Like, and I love the ranking episodes and everything because it gets me thinking about like, well, what would I have put there? But it's just, that's some of my funnest memories, like growing up, is being at the pro shop, just shooting the shit with the guys.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think it's great what you guys are doing. So keep it up.
We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Gracias.
You have any sponsors you want to shout out before we get out of here?
1023 Sportswear. I think the code still works. Custom jerseys and stuff. Planet Paintball should get you 20% off. If not, hit up Kristen and she'll hook you up.
Hell yeah.
And Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. That's my buddy's John's field.
Okay.
And old Planet Paintball alumni guy there. Literally built paintball in Southwest Colorado.
Damn right.
Like
Hell
there was
yeah.
no paintball there. Now he's got 2 teams out of there. He's running.
Nice.
He's always having, rec guys out there. So he brought paintball to that region. And like I'm so proud of that dude. He's up in that picture right there.
Oh hell yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Right.
Nice, man. That's got to be a good feeling too, man, to bring the sport somewhere where it's not even open up around.
Yeah, and it's I actually spent some time out there before he moved out there. It's a cool spot, but like just to build something from nothing, like it's been gnarly to watch that journey. And I just can't say like how proud I am of him.
Yeah, right.
So like
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So and then the boys on the Jester, the boys on Filthy, and the guys at Smart Parts, thanks for showing me some love recently. I really appreciate it. And Gavin, I got to shout out Gavin, Order 66 podcast clothing line. Like, he's been my big brother out in the podcast world. And so, like, when I started, he jumped in the DMs pretty quick, and it was like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. What are you using? Oh, great, that's what I use. So, if I'm having trouble with Riverside and I want to put my hand through the fucking computer, he's the first one I DM. Like, are you having this problem too, or is it my setup? So it's been great to that. And shout out your boy Hatch and from the sidelines. Those guys have been awesome too.
Love those guys.
Voice with the Z.
Huge fan of those guys. I've told Hatch, I'll tell you the same thing. I've told Hatch, I'm like, hey, bro, anything that you see that you're interested in doing, like a ranking or whatever, fucking take it. None of this shit is like copyrighted. It's not whatever.
We encourage it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, did you see them fuckers from the sidelines do a ranking too? Like, no.
Yeah,
I did.
I think it's awesome.
I did talk some shit in the group chat about play the game, just kind of funny because we did an event walkthrough, like a layout walkthrough on Infinite Tournament Paintball. And like the very next event, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do an event like a layout walkthrough." I'm like, "You motherfuckers!" Yeah. But I know they do that for the goats. They do that on the goat. Like I get that, but I'm like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" But I know they ain't fucking watched the first episode. But yeah, real quick before we get out of here, if you want some cool shit from Infamous Paintball Pro DNA. Right there, look at the infamouspaintball.com beside Daniel's beautiful head. Code Center50 will get you 10% off of anything except a marker. It won't work. I've tried. I failed. I cried. And then I went and got a headband for 10% off. And now I have I can throw my old Real Tree shit away. I have a new one. And also, Hunter, just thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on, dude. It's been great. I don't think this is going to be the last time for us, for sure. I like to kind of share the space with the other content creators because we're just so niche. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well,
let's. What's the saying? Raise the arbor or something.
Raise
something
the
about
roof.
raising shit. Let's put this motherfucker down.
Hold on, I know this. A rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah, there we go. Coming in clutch.
Wow. The man.
The only thing he said this entire show.
Man, a few words with the fucking wisdom drop right here at the end.
That's right.
Master Fuji say.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, this has been number whatever it is because I cannot keep up. And
114.
Something, yeah, that sounds about right. We'll see. But anyways, Hunter, again, thank you for your time. Daniel and TC, y'all go kick rocks. I'll have this out by Monday. And we will see you bitches in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Later.